What is going on, everybody? What do you all want to talk about tonight? I already know. So, we'll hit that audio real quick. Hope y'all are doing good tonight. Nelson, what's up? Stina, Jedi, caught me again, man. Lenny, yeah, I know that Airbuster music always gets me hype. Always gets me ready for a big boss fight. What's up, Nelson? How y'all? Hey, let me try to readjust something here real quick. I've been working all day, and I've got a mess on this desk. So, okay, try to get us a little more. There we go. There we go. I got Dr. Bills over here. I got art stuff I'm working on over here. I didn't even put my hat on. Whoop. There. Now I am ready. I am ready. So I have had a lot of people messaging me since State of Play went official earlier, and like it was crazy. I was getting like all of this DMs from people on Facebook too, like on my Facebook fan page for my art stuff. You all have found me on there and were just messaging me on Facebook. So I was getting all kinds of crazy stuff. I was like, a couple things looked credible, and a couple of people I had never even heard of before. Like Jack Star Prod was one I'd never heard of before. I was like, is this some kind of like account? If I click it, I'm gonna like lose all my personal data or something. But to not get too far off track, I sifted through the note. I wrote down everything that was sent to me by people that claim to be this or claim to be that. I'm not going to get into all that, the weeds of all that. I don't do that, because anybody can send you a message and say they're this person. I am Deep Throat. I'm an informant. But three things stood out to me as very interesting. And I'm going to talk to you all about what those three things are. So, the first thing that someone mentioned was that Rebirth is going to end the State of Play, but it's going to end it because it's going to be a game time decision, is what they told me. It's going to be a game time decision whether or not they put tag it on at the end or not. If it does, and this is not me predicting anything, this is me telling you what someone sent me. This other message is piggybacking on the first message that was sent to me. They backed it up saying, if it does get shown tomorrow, then that means TGS is going to be a showcase, a big showcase for Rebirth. And if we get the showcase at TGS, we are getting Rebirth in December. So if it's ready to show a showcase at TGS, we're getting Rebirth in December. Not my words. This is what was shared with me, so I thought it would be very interesting to talk to you all about it tonight. Okay, so there's a third one I'm going to get to in just a second. So it doesn't really have anything to do with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but it's Square Enix. So what are your all's thoughts on that? From a marketing standpoint, that makes a lot of sense. Like, if you drop... First off, I think they drop a teaser tomorrow. I don't think they drop the release date trailer. I think they saved that for TGS. If they show a teaser tomorrow, we're getting Sid, we're getting Vincent. I really strongly feel like. If they do, if they do give us the release date trailer tomorrow, if we get a trailer, if we do get the release date trailer tomorrow, that I think we get a full-on, I believe what that second message was sent to me, I believe we will get a full-on showcase at TGS. And if we get that, we are not far away from Rebirth. We'll know. I mean, we're going to know in a few weeks when this game's coming out. So the mystery will be unveiled, right? We are going to know in like, what, 1 week? TGS is in like 1 week, a week and a half. It's like a week from this coming weekend, right? If somebody fact check me on that, I might not be right about that, but so we're less than 2 weeks away from knowing when this game's coming out. So buckle your seatbelts. It's time. It is time. So I'm really excited about that. So if we get the release date trailer tomorrow, I'm gonna do something really cool for the community. I'm gonna do some. I'm just getting back into streaming and all that kind of stuff, and I do want to stream on Twitch. I know a lot of you all don't watch stuff on Twitch, and that's fine. I thought about doing gift subs or something like that, but I don't know. I think I might create a cool piece of artwork and make it as a digital download for folks here on the channel. I think I might do that. Like make a really cool Final Fantasy VII Rebirth piece of art, like a wallpaper or something like that. It'll take me a few weeks to work it out. But yeah, so if we get the release date trailer tomorrow, I will do a super cool piece of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth artwork that you all can download digitally for free. So I'll do that for you all. Because here on YouTube, I don't really know how handing out subscriptions and stuff works. You might be able to, but I don't want it to be something super random that only 10 people get. Like, I would want all of you all to be able to get something cool that are subscribers here on the channel. So, we'll do that. Now, I'm going to go back and read, and I'm going to take all of your questions when I'm done. So, if I miss somebody, I apologize. I'm just trying to stay focused on my notes here. You all know I usually come on here and wing it. I don't have notes. So, I just come on here. I speak from the heart most of the time. I speak from the heart to you most of the time. I'm trying to follow my notes here real quick because this all kind of dropped on me, like all of us, like real fast today. So if you want to super chat and support the channel, feel free, whatever. Otherwise, I will try to get to questions you've got in a little bit. So, but if you super chat me, I will definitely see them, and I'll read all those questions and answer all those questions here after I finish this third point. So, forgive me, I'm a terrible content creator. When is the Nintendo Direct tomorrow? When is the Nintendo Direct tomorrow? Somebody let me know when that Nintendo Direct is, because the third thing that was sent to me, and again, I got a bunch of messages, but these were the three things that I found interesting that I thought there was some meat on the bone, you know. So the third thing is, they said Square Enix is not done as far as like the next 10 days goes, as far as big announcements go. They said it's either Final Fantasy IX Remake or it's Chrono Trigger. Again, I'm not telling you this. This is what I read, and I was like, that is too spicy not to share with my community. So I'm sharing it with you all. You all know how I feel about Chrono Trigger. It's on my shelf. Boom, right there. Complete, in the box. The original. No repro. Completely complete. It is, and I got Macrame Magnus sitting right next to it. Magus, not Magnus. That is near and dear to my heart. And you all know, back when I was producing content every day a couple years ago, my running joke at every award show, every information release, everything was #1 prediction, Chrono Trigger remake confirmed. You all you all know how I am. Like, if you're the type of person that cries at reveals every time if something's slightly emotional, you cry, that's fine. It's okay. You all know I don't do that. This is not how I'm wired. This is not how I'm built. You know? If we get something with Chrono Trigger, I will fucking break down like a 3-year-old kid who just skinned up both of his knees. Like, I will, like, bawl. Like, I don't even know what it's going to be. I don't even know what it's going to be. I think the last time something moved me emotionally to where I cried on stream was, oh no, it was when I was streaming Resident Evil Village and I found out Kentaro Miura died. That's what it was. Okay, yeah, so that doesn't count. I was like really, really sad and emotional. That was sad. That wasn't happy tears. That was super sad tears. But yeah, so let's recap. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, game time decision tomorrow. Tacked on to the end of the state of play. If they do it, teaser trailer. That's the first thing that I was told. Second thing I was told, if the teaser, I think I'm getting this right. So the teaser trailer, if it's a release date trailer, they're doing a full showcase at TGS. So, and then the third thing that I was sent was Square Enix probably not done with this 2 weeks stretch coming up, this 10-day stretch coming up. Probably not done. Probably going to see Final Fantasy IX Remake, Chrono Trigger, HD Remaster, whatever. So, that's what I got. Like, I had a bunch of other stuff coming through. Like, you know, the one person said the Square Enix trailer was going to, like, showcase, like, oh, what was it? It was going to showcase Elfie and a bunch of people from the mobile game that are going to be in Rebirth. And I was like, no, get out of here. They're not important. They're not important enough to be in this game. Limited real estate story-wise in this game. Everybody's fan favorite, everybody's fan fiction can't be in this game. Yeah, Star Ocean 2, I'm super excited for that, Chris. That's one I'm really waiting on. That's a perfect game for the Switch. Just like I'm really happy that I bought Sea of Stars for the Switch. I'm really happy I bought that because I've been taking that on the go with me and playing it. That game, I'm gonna do a review for that game next week, and it's Sea of Stars doesn't get a review number. It goes beyond like an 8.8 because it was this, or I'm giving it a 7.7 because no. Sea of Stars is the reason people fall in love with video games. You can't put a number on that. You cannot put a number on that. Sea of Stars is Chrono Trigger. And I find it funny they just found another way to say Star Ocean. But it is. It feels like Star Ocean 2 and Chrono Trigger had a baby. That's what Sea of Stars feels like. I mean, I'm sorry. Star Ocean 1 and Chrono Trigger had a baby. That's what it feels like. And there ain't a thing wrong with that. So that's how I feel about that game. It doesn't get a number. You can't put a number on something that makes you feel. So Sea of Stars over Starfield. Look, man, I've seen the gameplay for Starfield. Like, I saw one guy talking about, because I had to check out some YouTube videos. I was like, I'm never going to play Starfield. I've got to see what the hype is about. One guy said he stopped playing it 15 hours in because there's so many things you have to do to go do a thing. And I was like, that just sounds like nightmare fuel. Like, especially if you have a busy schedule. Like, there's no way you could play a game like that, you know? Yes, with Mario RPG Combat. Thank you, Peach Booty. Peach Booty. Thank you. So, yeah, it's, but yeah. I had a feeling Starfield. Yeah, Starfield. I had a feeling Starfield was going to be that. Like, it was going to be just over-bloated and just nightmare-inducing. Now, Bethesda needs to get off their ass and get Elder Scrolls 6 done. Elder Scrolls 6, whatever the hell's going on with Fable 3, they got to get that done. And now there's rumors that they're going to remake Oblivion. When? 2035? I mean, they can't put anything out. They can't put anything out. So please explain to me why so many people love Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Well, because Chrono Trigger hit people in the feels. Chrono Trigger has, and you all know, Chrono Cross is goated with me. You all know. I played it here on the channel. We streamed it. It's goated. It's one of my top 5 games of all time. Just the twists and the little things you can read into it, and everybody can interpret things their own way. I love the way it was written. I love the way the scenarios are laid out. I think it's just a perfect video game. But Chrono Trigger has something Chrono Cross doesn't have, and it's that Akira Toriyama charm. Akira Toriyama's character designs lends itself to a certain type of humor, a certain type of levity, and a certain type of seriousness. It's like a perfect art style for towing the line between serious and goofy. And it's dark when it needs to be, and it's emotional when it needs to be, and it's fun and goofy when it needs to be. You can't do that aesthetically with just anybody's artwork. Akira Toriyama's got it cornered. That's why Dragon Ball is such a worldwide phenomenon. You know, it's not because it's Shakespearean. It's because it makes people feel. You can be really invested in what's going on in this nightmare scenario, and then in the next episode you can be doing something goofy. You know, Chrono Trigger has that. Chrono Cross doesn't. Chrono Cross is dark and heavy for most of the game, unless you're fighting Sultan Pepor, you know. But they're really the only comedy relief in the game, and a few little lines here and there. But yeah, I mean, that's the secret recipe with Chrono Trigger, is really the humor and the writing and Toriyama's artwork that really just stitches all that stuff together. So I don't think you could put another artist on Chrono Cross and it would have felt the same way. That's fact. So that's my take on it anyway. That's how I see it. But Chrono Trigger is, and plus, you know, a lot of us found Chrono Trigger when we were getting into video games. Like, I think I was 13 when I played No, I was 14 when I played Chrono Trigger. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, people found it in, like, that sweet spot where you're starting to develop your sensibilities. Like, a lot of people found Final Fantasy VII. Like, a lot of people found, like, you know, whatever, current-gen games. Like, a lot of people love Final Fantasy 13. And that game is trash, you know. But they found it at that time. It spoke to them. They were at a certain age, and they were developing their sensibilities, and it's a very human thing, you know. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on that, my take. But look, I think we're getting a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer tomorrow. Do I think it's the release date trailer? I don't think it's the release date trailer, but I'll be happy to get it, to know, because if we get a release date trailer, I agree with what the person sent me. If we get a release date trailer tomorrow, then the cat is out of the bag. It's time to show this puppy, you know? It's time to show this thing off. Yeah. Well, 13, all of 13 wasn't trash. Let me explain. All of 13 was not trash. I really enjoyed the characters in 13. I did. Lightning was pseudo edgelord. I'm so sick of those characters. Like, pseudo edgelord Lightning. Snow was like, what are you doing? You're eventually the bad guy. You're not. You are. I mean, God, what a mess. And then at the end, you're an orphan's cradle. I was like, I got to the end, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? How did we get here? I was paying attention the whole time. How did we get here? So that's why 13 is hot trash to me. People are like, no, but it makes you feel. It made me feel like throwing my PS3 out the window. So yes, you're correct. It makes you feel. It does. Makes you feel like you wasted $60 on that game when it came out. I think if you show one, you gotta show the other. If you show Vincent, you gotta show Sid. If you show Vincent, I think you show them both. And I don't. If Sid is gonna sound Southern, make him sound Southern. Don't make him sound like a 10-gallon hat wearing, you know, oil tycoon parody. Well, I think the punk's gonna become Sephiroth. What the you take your Yosemite Sam sounding ass and get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Nah, if you're gonna go south, go south. Get a southern voice actor. It's like, hey, what voice print do I need here? Do I need this voice print? No, just speak in your natural speaking voice. Okay, cool. Just act with your voice. That's it. Yeah, last week, some people were noticing that last week. What that is, when companies do that, they put up that soft pre-order with no date or whatever. They're testing to make sure all the bugs are off the page because that announcement is coming, and they don't want to get bombed and have the page crash. So companies have to do that to make sure that doesn't happen. So that was the first flag being raised that this thing was happening. Cat's out of the bag. Kate Shee, Golden Saucer. Look, show us Golden Saucer. Fuck it. If you're going in, go in. Don't stick your toe in the water. Jump in. You know, if you're going to show us this thing, show it. Unless they're like, well, next weekend we're going to be at TGS. We're going to do a big showcase at TGS. You're going to see it all. You're going to see everything there. You know? So... yeah, Marius. Yeah, that's me. I'm a completionist, so I'm playing a game. Like, that's why I don't stream a whole lot when I'm gaming, because I am boring as fuck to watch play a video game. I will grind for 3 hours. I will. I'm that dude. I will grind for 3 hours. And by the time I roll up on the second or third boss, man, it's just a shit show. It's just like, it's a bloodbath. But yeah, I get like when I'm playing an Elder Scrolls game, which is why I don't play them anymore. It's like I've got a chest at 5 of my houses, 1 chest in each house, full of like every blade of grass and every piece of leather I came across. Square losing $2 billion in market value is all because of bad investments. This is them. Look, Square Enix knew when they sold off this stuff, they're shedding weight. And this is what people don't understand about the marketing side of things. You know, they're shedding weight, they're cutting costs. When they sold all those companies and they cut all that stuff, they weren't making zero profit on that stuff. But they weren't making $2 billion either. So they had to cut costs, they had to cut labor, they had to let some people go, you know, and that hurt their stock shares. And it all ties in together. So Square Enix is going to bounce back. Next year they're going to have a much better year. And here's the other thing too. And I've got people who love 14 and love Yoshi P. I love Yoshi P. I think he is amazing. I was a fan of his already, and I became like a super fan of his when I saw how much he was invested in all the content creators and stuff out in California playing his game, him sneaking up on them and him teasing them and stuff. You know, I became a super fan of that guy. And I know I've got a lot of people who are bigger fans of his because of 14 than me. So I don't want to offend anybody, but 16 did not perform to the level that Square Enix thought it was going to, because I think they thought at least 40 to 50% of those people playing 14 were going to pick up 16, and they didn't. So they lost a lot of money there, a lot of projected money, a lot of projected value there. I think Ever Crisis being delayed, like they didn't anticipate it being delayed. I think it was supposed to be out at the beginning of the summer, not at the end of the summer. I think they lost some gotcha cash there. Forspoken tanked. Forspoken was not a cheap game to make. That game was not cheap to make, and they lost their ass on that game. So I think, now I can't account for every dollar, but that's a few big things right there. Hey, go get him, Coach Nick. Coach those boys up. Coach them men up. Go out there and get it. Out there grinding on the field. Oh, makes me want to put on the pads and hit somebody again. Woo! How high can I jump the buggy? See, these are the important things that we need to know. I don't know. That's one I don't know, man. All of the height. All of the height. What parts of the lore backstory do I think will be fleshed out more? Are you talking about existing lore, or are you talking about the new stuff that we're privy to, or that we're looking for answers to? Yeah, I love 16 too. And look, Sidolphus is one of the best characters Square Enix has ever created. Sidolphus is such an amazing character. He's top 5 Square Enix character of all time. Top 5 Square Enix characters of all time. That's Dragon Quest, that's Final Fantasy, that's the Chrono stuff, that's, you name it. He is amazing. But the rest of it, it was kind of predictable. And I'll admit, I have not finished it yet. I haven't had time, you know. But, and, you know. But there's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of good stuff. And as weird as it sounds, because it took so long to come out, I think it needed another 6 months in the oven. I think it did. But it's still great. It's still a fantastic game. It's an amazing game. I don't do the GOTY talk anymore, because my GOTY is always some weird shit that nobody's ever played. Like, right now, my GOTY would be Sea of Stars. That would be my game of the year right now. Yeah, he's amazing. I loved his voice, the cadence, the care. They took a lot of care. They knew this character was going to be good. They took a lot of care with all of his scenes. So yeah, it's they did an amazing job with him. I wish, well, I don't want to get into that. I haven't finished the game yet, so. Kadaj, Yazoo, and Laws, and nah, they're done. They're toast. They're not going to be there. Like, you basically wipe out that future. You wipe out the possibility of that happening when you're going through the singularity. That's why you fight the versions of them the planet is drawing on from the future that's supposed to happen via the live stream. So you've basically broken that. Resident Evil 4 Remake is amazing. But all the time I'm spending with the Sea of Stars right now. Resident Evil 4 was my GOTY before I played Sea of Stars. Even during playing Final Fantasy 16, I was like, 16's great. But Resident Evil 4 Remake, I just had a better time with it, you know? That game is great. I'm thinking about going through it again, you know? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. No, Chris, I have not played that. I've heard good things, but I have not played it. Dude, PlayStation was having a killer sale this week. Like, the Blaster Master games were like $5. Of course, they're not great, but they're goofy fun if you've never played them. The Blaster Master, like, not remakes, but sequels, I guess they're called. They would be. Oh yeah, I think we're definitely playing as Sephiroth in the flashback, for sure. I mean, they can't skip on that. They cannot miss on that. Well, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. I'm not completely convinced that they're not going to mix up guest party members and stuff like that as we go throughout the story. Like, depending on how things go in the direction of the ebb and flow of the story and Rebirth, I'm not completely convinced we don't get like a Sung or a Reno or a Rude or an Elena in our party. Like, as a guest, we may not control them, but gallivanting around with them, I'm not completely convinced we're not going to see that. I've heard Baldur's Gate 3 is incredible, but just don't. I mean, I know I sound very pretentious when I say this, and I don't mean to, but I really am just too busy to play a game that big. I can't put the money down for it knowing I'm only going to get 10 hours into it and not get back to it. Agreed. I mean, every year the gaming landscape gets better and better, unless you're developing with Unity, then it's not. I had two projects I had in pre-development that were going to be working. We were planning to work with Unity, and now we might be scrapping those projects. So life does what life does. Yeah, see, I was afraid it was going to be right around that hour count for Baldur's Gate 3, Chris. So I was like, nah, I don't have 40 years to play this game. Yeah, Rick, that's exactly the point of the story that I was thinking about right there, as a matter of fact. That's a really cool scene with them where they're like, we're on vacation. Well, now we're on the job. Elena jumps up to fight him. He's like, relax, we're on vacation. We're taking it easy. Shinra loves their vacation. Hojo, the Turks, when it's time to clock out, it's easy peasy. If they're not on the clock for Shinra, if they're getting some of that PT, you know. CRPG. I don't know that term. Is that supposed to be, I don't know, Canadian role-playing game? I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Yeah, hopefully, I hope we get the Hojo scene on the beach. It's going to be interesting to see how we traverse the world. I'm really excited to see that, as a matter of fact. I think we're going to really be in for a real treat over the next 10 days. And I am really going to try to be on top of making content. You all know I'm busy with stuff, but I'm going to try to cover everything that comes out. I'm really going to make an effort to do that. So I appreciate you all still being around, knowing who I am. I had this Ace Pilot Rick Hunter. He is a really cool he's a really cool subscriber here on the YouTube channel. You know, he tells it like it is sometimes. I've seen him kind of, you know, say some things, but he tells it like he's an honest guy. He let me see if I can pull this comment up. He made a comment earlier. He said, "You called it for this afternoon. I'm going to start calling correctly predicting things, raying it. You rayed it again, dude." I feel like there's a t-shirt coming on there. I feel like I need to make a t-shirt for that. Yes, I'll be doing live shows tomorrow. I think I can't do Nintendo because I have to get my son ready for school, but I will come on with a reaction. How long is Nintendo supposed to be in the morning? Does anyone know? It's the future in Japan. It's tomorrow in Japan. It's like time traveling. Time traveling confirmed. Computer role-playing game. Oh, okay, got you. Is it only on PC? Because I'd be right out if that's the case anyway, because I've got a Mac. So yeah, I'll be doing live reactions tomorrow. If I can't be on time for the Nintendo show, I will come on as soon as I can. Probably be around 8 o'clock in the morning. Because again, I got to get my son ready for school and take him to school. But I will pop on around 8 I'll try not to spoil anything for myself as I'm trying to find the right video and swimming through the thumbnails of all the surprise stuff that got released. But I'll do my best to do a genuine live watch-along reaction. And then, of course, tomorrow, State of Play, that's in. That's all in. So, but we also have to be cautious with the State of Play, right? How many times have we done this where we get excited about a State of Play and there's nothing there? We gotta be cautious, right? If there's nothing there tomorrow, screw it. TGS is next weekend. We are getting something at TGS. So, there it is. Rick, any updates regarding the Genova project? Looks amazing from what... Okay, yes. So, I do have some updates on that. I pulled it until next month because I want the first section to be longer. Okay? Now, the only way I think I'm going to be able to get around making this thing, it's not going to be like an animated series, right? So this is the first time I've explained... Well, I've explained this on stream before. You all know how the old Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 games had like a scrolling image with like text and dialogue and everything. I'm doing one of those, but it's going to be super high quality imagery, and I want the first segment of this to be longer. So, as I'm working on Aurora's pitch Bible and a pitch Bible for another project that I'm working on, I've got marketing responsibilities I'm working on, and trying to do content and stuff. It's working its way in there somewhere. I'm excited to get it out. I'm excited for you all to see it. I really had fun creating the Knights of the Round and creating some other Cetra characters that were important for telling the story. But this is a fan fiction, you know? So... So yeah, but yeah, so I apologize about having to delay it, but that's kind of where it's at right now. So it's coming. I did put a few pieces of artwork on the channel for you all to look at. I'm really going for that late 90s to early 2000s anime style of artwork. I think Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. That's kind of what I'm going for the artwork for this. I really wanted Genova to feel like a horror movie kind of thing. And like trying to create that atmosphere, how I'm with the limited way that I'm having to do it. Because the first time I tried to do this as an animated series, I got a C and D. So I had to reset and figure out how maybe I wanted to do this thing. So that's where it's at right now. But I'm excited. I think you all will enjoy the story that we're going to tell. But that's really all I've got as far as an update right now. So I was actually working on some stills earlier. So please be excited. Please be excited. And also, I will be creating over on Patreon, like the stills and stuff that are in there. I will be creating like postcards of the stills as a postcard set. So, and I'll be sending that out to all my Patreon members and stuff like that. So, I will be doing that too. So I won't just like quote unquote waste the artwork and time I put into the artwork for it. So we'll reproduce it in another way. And just have a good time doing that. It's all about having a good time right now. You know, I'm enjoying all getting back to doing the content and everything. Hey Ray, if you could make a Bleach game, how or would you do it? If I could make a Bleach game, yo, if I could make a Bleach game. Well, first off, I want to say I can't believe there's not been a Dynasty Warriors Bleach game yet. I just can't believe that hasn't happened yet. Koei Temco, right, is Dynasty Warriors. I can't believe they haven't made a Bleach game yet. But if I were going to do a Bleach game, I would do it like Suikoden 2. I would make it like Suikoden 2, and I would write it as filler. No, you know what I would do? I would be like, we don't know if they're ever going to tell this Howl from the Jaws of Hell arc. We don't know if that's ever going to get told or not. I would just do that as a video game. I would tell that story as a video game, and just make Bleach a series of RPGs, action RPGs moving forward. There you go. There you go. And make Aizen an optional character to use in your party. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair. Be mass destruction. I pissed some people off in a stream last year because, like, they were like, "Ray, I know you're a big Bleach fan, but who you got, Sephiroth or Aizen?" I was like, "Aizen, you kidding me? It's not even close, man." Yeah, Genova can make illusions, but Aizen is the master of illusions. You know, he can control all of your senses. Xenoverse 2, yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be an interesting way to do it. What does everyone think of a Dynasty Warriors Final Fantasy? I don't know. They tried it with Zelda, right? They tried it with Zelda, and it didn't really work out. Like, Zelda fans said it was great, but unless you were a diehard Zelda fan, I was a diehard Zelda fan at the time, and I thought it was just okay. It was kind of mid, you know. If you do it right, like, Dynasty Warriors is fun, but you know, and that Berserk Band of the Hawk game was fun for me, but I'm a huge Berserk nut, so you can't really take my opinion as far as like how good was the game, because I'm gonna be like, it was great, you got to do all the battles from the Golden Age and no, you can't use my opinion because it's super biased on that. You'd have to get like a Dynasty Warriors diehard to talk about that. Yeah, the game was mid. To say it was mid would be very generous. Be very, very generous. Yeah, for sure. Like, there's different reasons why it'd be cool to be the different ones, and that's why I think there's so much potential with Bleach as a video game series, because, you know, or dude, just do an MMORPG with events happening all the time. You know what I mean? You know, being a Quincy and absorbing the reishi of every spiritual world you're in, that would be just absolutely killer. And like, you take like poison damage if you go into Hueco Mundo, you know? Or like if you like absorb an Arancar or something like that, you take heavy poison damage. I mean, yeah, that's just spitballing. I mean, there's so much you could do with that. Oh, dude, look, the Quincy, the Shrifts, like the Volstandic for the Quincy's, super dope power. Like, as a storyteller, I go, fuck, I wish I thought of that. Damn, I wish I thought of that. Damn you, Tate Kubo. But yeah, like, I'm a huge Bleach fan. I think they've only got the one art book, all color but the black. I've got that one over here. I love collecting art books for different anime and video games as well. I was at a comic book convention tabling here recently, and there was an estate sale, and they were like, everything in these tubs is like, just come to us for a price or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I was like, you got any like old school NES or SNES stuff? And they were like, yeah, it's in one of those tubs over there. So you know those little plastic shelves that you stack paper on? You can stack them on top of each other, and they're about that big, you know, and you just put paper in them or whatever, like little mini office paper shelves. There was one flipped over, and underneath of it, let me show you what I found. I found this really cool thing. Still in the plastic. 1994 video game like preview from Electronic Gaming Monthly for 1994 video game preview guide. Look at this ad on the back. Look, September 1993. Look at that ad. That is beautiful. Oh my god, I found that. And then I found this in like almost perfect condition. It's just the game and the inserts and the booklet. I've got to get the cartridge back. I sold the cartridge while selling all my stuff like a couple months ago, so I got to get the cartridge back. I got to buy a cartridge for it again. They'll have a complete, perfect condition, like it just came off the friggin' store shelf. That. So I got all this stuff for $10. So always, always, always look for those deals. You know what I mean? Like most of the shelf back here has been built on deals, you know? And I'm glad I didn't have to sell all my stuff. I was prepared a few months ago to sell every bit of my game collection because things were just rough. But I didn't have to, so I feel great about that. Oh, 16 soundtrack was fire. It was fire. It was so good, man. Like I've got a couple of tracks loaded up on my work playlist. That Punch-Out box is super minty. Yeah, here I'll open it up real quick. But here's the thing. I mentioned that little paper shelf thing because it was like bottom up, and this was underneath the paper shelf. If it wasn't underneath of that, it would have been crushed by all the stuff in there. So it was like, it was destiny, man. It was destiny. Look at this. Took it out. See, it's got, of course, it's like almost 40 years old. It's got a little wear, but this does not look like a 40-year-old game box. You know what I mean? So open her up. I got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out booklet, perfect condition. I got this Nintendo Power membership. Love that. I'm going to start collecting old Nintendo Powers too for the comic books that were in them. This little insert here. Booyah. And then I got the old, of course, the old NES poster that came with a lot of the games. Right there. All that was in there. They could have sold that thing for $100. And the lady at the counter was like, $10. I was like, you got it. You got it. Your boy is out. Out. But yeah, so as soon as I got home, I had to find where this was in my trunk for my show with all my art prints and books and stuff in it. I had to find where it was immediately and like put it in a case. So, but yeah, I was super happy to find that. That was really cool. And that 1994 preview guide is awesome. I love that. What's up, Michelle? But yeah, so... Oh. Thanks, man. Yeah, you know what? I might do that. I might do that sometime. I've got a cool collection over here. You know, I've got. I'm really proud of my my anime box set collection. I've been collecting. I've always kept my stuff. There's been a few things I had to sell, but I've always tried to keep the cool stuff. Like, I've got a story for everything up there almost. Like, do you all remember Suncoast? It was a video store. I think it became FYE or something like that. But 20 years ago, it was called Suncoast. And me and my buddy Sean went into Suncoast one day after work. Sean Rains, good dude. And I bought the box of War, the Berserk box of War. It was like $40. It was the actual really cool box with one DVD in it. But this one was mislabeled. There was a $180 version with all the DVDs in it, and a $40 version with one DVD. I picked up the $40 version. It's heavy. And I was like, yo, they mislabeled this. It's got them all in there. So I went and checked out, and then I went right out into the walkway of the mall, the Fayette Mall in Lexington. And I sat on the bench, and I opened it up. I look at Sean immediately. He's sitting there checking. I was like, I was like, come on, let's go, man, before they catch me. But yeah, it had every DVD in it for $40, brand new. And I was like, what? That's so cool. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. We've got, we were just talking about the Genova project. Next month, I'm going to be dropping the first section. I'm shooting for 10 minutes on that first section. 10-minute episode. And it's going to introduce the Cetra, the characters that I've kind of developed for the story. It's going to introduce Arthur. It's going to introduce the other Knights of the Round and kind of what they're doing and what Arthur is. And there's a story to all of them, you know. 2 of the Knights are a couple. There's a mage. There's a seer who prophesizes, you know, Genova's coming. And then there are other like delegates, you know, that aren't the Knights that are Cetra, you know. And then there, of course, is a Cetra who gets taken by Genova. And in my version of the story, that is the Genova that we see. Because in my interpretation, and I might be totally wrong about this, but this is what I'm doing anyway. My interpretation is Genova is the monster that the deformed monster that we always see. But that version of her that looks like a beautiful female or whatever, I've always felt like that was a Cetra that she took over. So the image of the crying woman in the piece of art that I put up on YouTube, that's her. Like, that's the version of her that will eventually be found in the stratum, you know, thousands of years later. So, but yeah, the first section is introductions and handshakes with the characters, and then the second part will go into how the life form known as Genova starts to spread. And, you know, I also write a little bit about how she gets her name, how she becomes known as Genova, and all this kind of stuff, and kind of like the religion of the Cetra and all this kind of, just things that haven't been answered before. You know, when if they ever do tell the official story, then my thing, it's just a fan story, right? It's just fan fiction. But, you know, I wanted to do it as a nice aside for everybody that watches the channel, and for everybody who's always just been like, I just want a story, just anybody give me a story on this. Well, I'm going to do that. So, but I do appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to hop off here for the night. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be wild, so you all get some sleep. It's Nintendo's dropping their thing in 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours. It's gonna be a long day. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day. So we're gonna open it. Yes, Michelle, to answer your question, all the Genova stuff, I'm calling it Final Fantasy VII Calamity, and every episode will be on my YouTube channel here for free. You can just watch it for free. So my patrons will get it first. My $5 and up patrons will get it first. But then I'm going to stagger the releases by a week. So a week later, everybody else, it'll be free on YouTube. So I'm always trying to find nice ways to give back for people who support me on Patreon and stuff like that. I'm getting ready to drop a ton of Aurora stuff on Patreon. I got a lot of cool stuff coming. So yeah, we're really stoked about that. Before I go, would you all like to see some of the Aurora pitch deck stuff that we're working on? If you would, let me know. If not, let's get off here. No hard feelings. I just thought, I'm sitting here looking at it right now on my other screens. I was working on it. I figured I could just pull it up and let you all see it if you want. You know what? I'm going to pull it up anyway. Hang on a second. Let me take a look. You'll find this beast. Is this it? Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Omaku, baby. Omaku Higaro. The problem. He is a problem. Hang on, I'll mute the music here. This dude is going to be a problem. Got some kick-ass music for him too. Let's see here. All right. see. All right. Queuing it up. I'm going to turn up the desktop audio here. Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Oh, receiving. Okay, I hadn't gotten there yet. There we go. Okay. Let me switch my stream around here real quick. What up, Talon? Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I used to be good at this. No, I didn't. I was never good at this. Psych. All right. Here we go. Hang on. Living embodiment of rage and hatred. From the outset of the story, he viciously annihilates everything and everyone in his path. He is in pursuit of being called the Genova, which in the religion of his people, Aldaran, is the ender of all things. The tricky thing about this guy is that he was once a hero, honor-bound to defend his home and his people from evil. Now he seems to be a different person altogether, blinded by madness and vengeance. What could have happened? Omaku is a highly skilled assassin, powerful, extremely cunning, and horrifyingly powerful. It would appear that his target is a male. That is true. Her and Renzi are in grave danger. But there be something more at work. So. That is Omaku's character Bible section. So, yeah. Hope you all enjoyed that. I hope the volume was good. Having a good time putting all that stuff together. We will be pitching Aurora. We've already had a few meetings. We've already had a few conversations with different networks. We will be hardcore pitching starting next month. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you to everyone who has bought the Aurora books. Volume 3 is dropping in November. Volume 4 will be out at the end of December. Volume 5 comes out in the spring. And we're really, really excited. The world seems to be waking up to it. We got a lot of big people that are getting ready to get behind it, so we're excited. So, but that's where I've been. That's where I've been. I've not just been not making content because I don't like you guys anymore. I've been really just hustling to get that done. So anyway, I'm gonna hop off here for the night. I'm going to be sharing more Aurora stuff here on the channel, so if you all are down for it, let me know. I'm also starting a channel, a YouTube channel, and I'll be sharing a link for that. All my Aurora stuff is going to go on that channel, so if you're interested in it, watch for community posts. I'll be sharing links to all that stuff. So appreciate you all being here tonight. As always, love you all. Much love, much respect. Easy Allies says that. That's who says that. I was like, love and respect. Who is that? Oh, that's Easy Allies. I miss those guys. Are they still doing their thing? I used to love watching Easy Allies back in the day. I'm going to look them up. I hope they're still doing their thing. I hope they're still rocking. Anyway, and I hope y'all rock. So keep rocking. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Big day tomorrow. So I will catch you all twice tomorrow. So have a great night. Take care. I'll see you later.